So for my exhibition project, I chose to do choose a project from my Japanese literature class. We did a ukiyo-e. We did like woodblock. So basically, a ukiyo-e is like a form of Japanese art. So basically, we first had to make a poem like based on haiku or tanka, and we had to make a poem like similar to that style, and then we had to make a drawing to go along with our poem, and then we like carved it onto wood, and then we had to like make prints of it and like make our poem with it. So basically, I had to first like try to find an idea for my poem. We had to do like based on nature and things like that. And then we had to like construct the poem and then like brainstorm for like an actual drawing to go along with our poem. And then we had to transfer it onto the wood and like carve it. And then we had to like take some ink and then roll it on our wood block and print it and then apply color to it. So to find inspiration for our poem, we first had to like go outside to the garden for some inspiration. And something that caught my attention was like how a lot of the plants in the garden were like dead, and I thought that and they were like growing around the stems of the fence of the school. And I thought that in nature, like nature always tries to take back at the end of the day. So my final poem was that humans had taken over their home, their roots hugged the concrete, and they always tried to regain what's theirs. After this step, I came up with 3 main ideas for my actual drawing. The first one was to build to make a building wrapped in stems and roots, and then to make a fence with like roses wrapping around it, and a world like made out of steel that has cracks in it to show like man versus nature. I chose this as my like final draft for like what I wanted in my drawing. And then we carved it onto the wood. We transferred it with some graphite paper, and then we had to like carve over it with blades. After that, we had to like print it. We had to take some ink and then like roll it on our wood block so we could make our prints. So these are some of the final prints. We did about like 5 prints. The other one is downstairs. And then we had to add color with markers, and I decided like to go with various textures and colors for each to have like diversity. And I decided to write my poem at the bottom. So in Japanese class, we were like, this relates to what I learned to class because we made Japanese poems, and like we had art to represent, and we used this art style, the ukiyo-e, and we learned about like the Zen philosophies that like nothing is perfect, or like Buddhist philosophies or Confucius, because suffering comes from desire, and we like focused on that. Like at the end of the day, our art pieces aren't going to be perfect, but we should still be like proud of it. I learned that I shouldn't rush my art, that there's no such thing as perfect. And as people, we should be more accepting of others and ourselves. This could apply to real life because you have to have like patience for things and like that. Any questions?
What did you find easy about the project? What did you find difficult?
What I found very difficult was like the amount of time that it took. Like we took like various weeks the actual wood carving. This was like the hardest part for me because I was a bit behind on the process, but we managed to do it like in maybe 3 weeks. And the easiest part, I guess, was like making the drawing because like I used a lot of like thin lines for my drawing, but it was like very difficult to get it here, and I had to like modify it to fit the wood block.
I'm sorry, I probably missed it, but what motivated you to do this specific art piece?
So I went to the school garden, and like I saw the idea of like man versus nature, with nature taking over, and I wanted to show that in my piece, that like as humans we created this world to like, we molded it, and then I wanted to like make it like square or whatever, and then have like nature, the cracks represented, like taking over. Yeah.
Why did you choose this project?
Because I was really happy with the outcome. Okay. I'm done.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Couple of like kind of small things. Just feedback was, I think having the actual painting here or the prints and the paint here is always good. Always a really good visual, and actually like sharing a poem you wrote too, so you can kind of see the connection. So that's always good. Just a couple like minor things for growth. You have a little bit of like nervousness. Yeah, that just comes with practice, so don't worry. But that is just something like to work on, and like making more eye contact with like the audience, because you're kind of all over the place with that a little bit. But it's tough, and it just takes practice. So use that as just a growth tool more than anything. But otherwise, it's I think we got a pretty good idea of like the project you did. How did that project actually help you understand like Japanese poetry, I guess haiku specifically, better?
Well, it made me understand it, like how like they were able to create it, because a lot of them are like based on nature, and like being out in the garden was really helpful to create that.
Cool. Other questions?
No question, no feedback. Relax, Angelica.
Yeah. That just comes with practice.
Yes. You are doing an amazing job.
Mm-hmm.
Also, beautiful.
Thank you.
I love the green and the orange one. That one's really cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, that one. Anyone else thoughts?
Well, I love the visuals. Like they said, just relax. I had the same problem, like 2 hours ago. So I'm not used to doing this, but it gets a little easy after a while. Just relax.
Yeah, definitely comes with practice. By the time you're doing the senior year, it'll be old hat. Cool. All right. Awesome. Thank you.